Greasy cockroach champion LAD, American psycho Newsom. Let's see, he's blamed climate change over these historic disasters in California. He's blamed local authorities, if you can believe it. I don't even know how he can even do that in good conscience. I mean, I know you're a snake, I know you're vermin, but I thought you had at least a little bit of wherewithal about you, but I guess not. Actually blaming local authorities. He went on Pod Save America. I want answers. I'm not getting the right answers. I can't do an impression of him because he's so oozy. He's so salamander and reptilian. He definitely doesn't have warm blood pumping through his veins. He blames misinformation. He blames lack of resources and lack of funding, even though he spent $20+ billion on homelessness, and homelessness has gotten exponentially worse year after year. He spent money helping illegals to cover their legal fees. He's spent billions of dollars Trump-proofing California after November 5th, and now he actually has the audacity to blame President Donald Trump, who's not even in office right now. I want to ask you a very serious question, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever been around somebody who points the finger at everybody else for all their problems, all the issues they face? It's the government, it's my spouse, it's my wife, it's my husband, it's my boyfriend, it's my girlfriend, it's my boss, it's my dog. Have you ever been around somebody like that? I have a serious question for you. How did that make you feel when you were around that person? Let me know in the comments down below. Somebody who never, ever essentially points the finger at everybody else except themselves. I'm also going to share with you this unbelievable champion moment with people in the community coming together. Community notes for the win. Gavin Newsom getting caught in a bold-faced lie. And boy, is he he is livid about it. Community notes for the win, which is why, Mark Zuckerberg is now, who's made a career off of stealing, is essentially stealing Elon Musk's idea. Because community notes, if you don't know what that is anytime somebody talks about something, an issue, a news item, whatever, and they post it, the community can basically rate it. And if enough people rate it a certain way, and it has to come from varying factions and people who usually disagree, then the community notes allows there to be an annotation, essentially a community note on that post, which is so powerful because it is truly the antithesis of propagandist media. It's the antithesis to just, the New York Times or CNN just saying something with zero pushback. And Newsom got the most legendary community note of all time. I can't wait to share that with you. But first, I'm so freaked out by this video. I have to give you warning. This is a video that is going viral on the internet of Karen Marxist Bass grinning during this unbelievable tragedy that's being talked about in a press conference. Watch this. I want you to watch her face right above me. Watch this.
The way they are moving, the unpredictability of how they're moving, the swiftness with how they're moving, you are not going to outrun these fires. If you stay, you're going to die in them, and it's not worth it. So if you're told to evacuate, get the hell out. Save yourselves. You can rebuild because we are going to rebuild. We also, I think, have to be mindful of the risks that will follow these fires, and that is when the rains come and the risk of mudslides. So I say that because we need to know what we're looking forward to ahead. But I want to understand.
Is it just me, or does she not look like the Joker or something? Like something out of like an evil villain's playbook. My goodness gracious. We're talking about the worst disaster California has ever faced. We're talking about people losing pets, watching their dogs cook right before them. We're talking about death. That the numbers just keep increasing exponentially almost every day. People have lost everything. And you're grinning? You're actually grinning? What are you grinning at? Am I nuts? Let me know in the comments down below. Here he is, the snake oil salesman du jour. Check out Gavin Newsom here, blaming Trump now. He's blamed everybody else He's gone. I mean, can you imagine if this guy spent as much time? He's been on every single podcast, news network, interview. I mean, it's like if this guy spent as much energy, fixing his gelled up mane and trying to fix his brand, if he spent as much energy doing that, actually helping Californians, we wouldn't be in this mess to begin with. Check this out.
President-elect Trump has blamed you for this crisis. He called you incompetent. What's your response?
Well, I called for him to come out, take a look for himself. We want to do it in the spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist. He's the president-elect. I respect the office. We have a president of the United States that within 36 hours provided a major disaster declaration over a text. We had support from the president of the United States, Joe Biden, with 100% reimbursement, all the resources you could hope for or imagine, constant communication. I'd like to extend that to the president-elect. I don't know what he's referring to when he talks about the Delta smelt in reservoirs. The reservoirs are completely full of the state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us. Responding to Donald Trump's insults, we would spend another month. I'm very familiar with them. Every elected official that he disagrees with, very familiar with them.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation to understand what was happening with that local reservoir. That was not a state system reservoir, which the president-elect was referring to as it relates to the Delta and somehow connecting the Delta smelt to this fire, which is inexcusable because it's inaccurate, also incomprehensible to anyone that understands water policy in the state.
So there's a lot there to unpack. So he did allocate money to save fish over human beings, allocating millions, hundreds of millions of gallons of water. He did lie about the reservoirs. They were empty. He did lie about fire hydrants, which were empty. He did lie about taking any accountability whatsoever. And this whole misinformation crap, again, this misinformation crap. You want to talk about misinformation, Gavin Newsom? Why are you deleting Instagram comments from an official government account, which is actually against the Constitution and illegal? He is deleting comments on his Instagram official governor verified Instagram account, anything that revolves around the word resign. Can you imagine how many comments he's got to delete? I mean, this guy's got to delete 1 million a day, probably. Okay, so here's a legendary community note where Elon Musk posted that Gavin Newsom decriminalized theft and looting, which he did with Prop 47 many years ago. And he also voted against Prop 36, which is to basically repeal all of Prop 47's initiatives. And he posted this on X saying, "Stop encouraging looting by lying and telling people it's decriminalized. It's not. It's illegal, as it always has been. Bad actors will be arrested and prosecuted." And then community notes for the win. Check this community note out. This is going to go down in the Hall of Fame of the Internet Hall of Fame, because this was the note that was posted underneath Gavin Newsom's post on X, which you can't get anywhere else. It's brilliant. It's like the best version of fact-checking in real time. California reduced the penalties for all theft crimes, including loot, to a misdemeanor if under $950 with Prop 47 in 2013 that Gavin Newsom supported. In 2024, which was this past election, thank God, voters repealed much of that with Prop 36. Governor Newsom campaigned against Prop 36. Again, this is why Zuckerberg is stealing this and applying it to Meta. He made an announcement. I talked about this just a few days ago. This is the best way to make sure that all posts, not just from people like me, independent media, but everybody, government officials, network media, etc., everybody can be community noted. It is truly the real digital town square, the real information highway, the real way that we can verify things in real time. To me, it is intelligence and communications of the people, by the people, and for the people, which I just absolutely love. I can't wait to get your comments on this down below. Let me know. Speaking of snakes and vermin, we have Maxine the Werewolf Waters goes on Chris Cuomo's show and absolutely has a meltdown. I have to share this with you before we go here. Watch this clip right here where she just goes irate How dare you? She, I guess, has umbrage towards anybody who criticizes Democrats over the response to these wildfires in California. Watch this.
Instead of this business about Democrats or Republicans, get the information up on the screens. Where can you go in Altadena? Where can you go in Pasadena? Where can you go in Malibu? Where can you go in the Palisades? Where can you go in San Fernando Valley? They don't know. They're looking for help, and that's what we should be dedicated to.
I agree.
And you too.
We are doing it. We will continue to do it. I think you are right. However, it can also be seen that you don't want to talk about the politics because it's on your party, because the mayor and the governor are Democrats who arguably should have had the people in Altadena better prepared for this. They should have the resources more available so they don't need me to put them up because the state has been doing the work. And that if they've been preparing the situations for wildfires like they were made aware of, instead of cutting deals with PG&E and insurance companies, they would have prepared the state. That is not unfair criticism. Is it too soon? Maybe, but the questions are real.
Let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of protecting anybody. And I think that my work over the years that I've been involved have been absolutely on point in dealing what has to be dealt with in order to help the people. First thing you got to understand is services cost money. And we should be willing to get the richest people in this country, the richest 1% that is protected, make sure they pay their fair taxes so that we can have the money to provide the services. With that money and with those resources, the people who have been selected or elected to do the job should do the job. I don't care who it is. It could be Democrat, it could be Republican, it could be whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we all should have heavy hearts right now.
I've seen better faces on a Klingon. My goodness, it's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. When I hear people like her, Cori Bush, even though thank God she lost her seat, but people like AOC, Ghetto Crockett, the list goes on and on. Jayapal, who made a mockery of this. People are losing their livelihood, losing their homes, and she chooses to politicize the moment by talking about McDonald's and corporations, who caused climate change and now with karma. It's a sick mentality with these hypocrites. It just blows my mind, which makes me so proud of my country, so proud of you, my fellow Americans, that you made the decision that you did on November 5th, 2024. And I just can't wait. I can't wait. We're only 8 days away, y'all. 8 days away from getting our country back. And by the way, we're going live during the inauguration, so make sure you subscribe. Sign up for our free newsletter. That's in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. It's free. All you got to do is give us your best email. Bada boom, bada bing. You're in. That's it. Click submit. We do not spam. We don't share your email with anybody. That is not the Nez Nation way. Sign up for that free newsletter in the pinned comment. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. If you haven't seen this one, my God, it's so good. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.